Good afternoon, everyone. I am Jano Zoe Gahulin, and the topic for my TED Talk is listening. Listening is a rare and undervalued skill that is less and less seen in today's society. Because if you haven't seen yet, people always want to express themselves without having to listen to them. I believe this sort of absence in listening is caused by a lot of factors, mainly due to increased background noise and technological distractions. So, before we get into those external factors, I want to get into things, one of the goals we have to achieve in order to practice our listening. First off, we need to listen with empathy. Our generation is born into phones, and before you know it, we're just staring at our phones day and night without having a single real conversation in outside our homes. So listening with empathy also means to talk to them face to face. I believe that talking face to face is much better than talking on messaging apps. A good friend of mine also believed this because if we talk on the phone, if we talk on the messenger, we cannot fully decipher the tone and emotion behind those messages. However, if we do talk face to face, then we can always because our faces never lie unless you're a uh, professional security agent. Your emotions can be seen through your eyes, through your body language, and your your words. What do I mean by our emotions can be seen in our words? We are poor at disguising our the emotions behind our words. And this is why talking face to face is better than talking on Messenger. Because let's let's have an example. So let's say I'm checking up on a friend and she just tells to me that she is doing fine. Well, even if the person is struggling with something but she just texts me that, then I'm just gonna assume that that's what she meant, and then I'm not gonna do anything with it because she told me that she's fine only on messenger. So the tone that she wants to give off is what eventually comes out. So but if we talk face to face, then of course if she's struggling with something, it will be visible when we talk. And we can only notice this, we can only notice these inconsistencies if we talk face to face and also if we fully listen to them. Because whether you like it or not, our, not really, a known fact, a long known fact of of our brains is that we think much faster than we speak. That is why we are more prone to distractions. And that is why listening is a skill to be practiced. It's not just a gift that is granted to very few people. Like any sport, in order to be good at it, it must be practiced. So that is why, in order to further better our listening skills, we have to take out uh, we have to take out external factors to fully focus into the people we are talking to. Take, for example, background noises. If you haven't noticed yet, the world is much more noisier than it ever was today. Reader's Digest also covered this. They titled it Asia's Noise Pollution. Everything is so noisy nowadays the that people choose to create their own world while living in one. This is through listening to our earpods or our earphones. And what I find to be depressing is to see two people talking to each other with one AirPod on, because it just shows that they aren't committed to the conversation. Like no one is giving any effort to listen to them. And that is what I want to get into, because nowadays we are overwhelmed with so much distractions that we don't even get to see the the reason to listen. Because I'm sure that when we talk to someone and then there's a second or there's a few seconds of silence, there's something is pushing us to reach into our phones and to pass the time, the short time that silence has given us. Instead, instead of doing this, because I believe doing this kind of thing during conversations is incredibly disrespectful. Not re- Disrespectful to the person talking and overall to your relationship, because it means that we aren't giving them enough uh, enough focus and time to let them express themselves, because we are giving our effort into something that isn't even alive, which is our phones. That is why I want no I want others to know that listening allows for connection to thrive and grow in every relationship we have. Because imagine a world where people just talked over each other, right? Nothing happens in that world, because there is no understanding, no connection. Nothing is genuinely built over those conversations, because it's just two people talking to the wind, talking about themselves. That is why we must make an effort to listen. I believe this sort of journey of listening, of bettering our listening skills, only ever applies to us, because people come and go, right? And I believe they are the people that God or faith chooses to give to us to practice our listening skills. And that's about it. We should make an effort to care for others. In this case, we will, instead of speaking over each other, we will choose to listen to each other, to fully listen and to consciously make an effort to listen to them. And in this way, we are building towards an empathetic future, and then emotionally, and for more emotionally intelligent individuals to become more apparent throughout the years. That is all I wanted to say. And one of the inspirations I had for making listening as my topic is a book by Kate Murphy titled You're Not Listening. So that is all I have to say. Thank you for listening, and this is my TED Talk for personal development. God bless.